foreign criminals, if enter into India, or then they are liable to be arrested, and they should surrender, escaped from captivity. Suppose even if some person escaped from captivity, then this extradition act will come. Then the Indian passport rules 1950, entry into India is monitored. Then the for this double penalty, if it is contravened, double penalty is given. Then Indian Telegraph Act 2006, license, wireless communication, all these things were done by this act. The Madras that is Nuisance Act 1889, it is about noise pollution. That is, during Diwali time they will be doing a lot of noise, even during the untimed. This is by this act the nuisance is prevented. The Police Forces Restriction of Rights Act 1966, and the Press Registration of Books Act 1867. Then the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. Then this prevent the infliction of pain to the animal. Suppose the through some pin they will pin the animal to jab the animal or to go fast, the bullock and other things. This act will take up the person who is doing harm to the, or injury to the, or penning, or any injury, then this act will take up its own course. Then preventing or duplication of objectionable matter act, then this is censorship power to muzzle media. So to control the media, this act has come. And the Prevention of Detention Act 1950, some wrong action may be done by some persons. For that, the Detention Act 1950 has come. By this act they will be detained. And the price cheats and money circulation schemes. Suppose somebody may cheat, the money circulation will get you money, so that you will get extra amount. Suppose if the cheats, you can get your money is doubled, tripled, like that. If at all, if these things taken by some companies, then that will be prevented by this act. Then Probation of Offenders Act 1958 prevent the conversion of youthful offenders into that is crimes, that is to criminals, that is obdurate criminals. So the youngsters should not be made as permanent criminal. For that, the Probation of Offenders Act has come. According to this act, they will be freed, considering his age and their conduct. The Protection of Human Rights Act 2006, that is the human right violation should not be there, because human being born without any shackles, and all rights such as freedom of speech, the life and liberty, and there should not be any exploitation, nothing. That is called Human Rights Act. If any violation to the human rights, then this act will take up its course. Then Public Gambling Act, then in the public places no gambling should be done, and if at all if it is done, a punishment is given, that is 200 rupees punishment or 3 months imprisonment. The Registration of Birth and Deaths Act, that is the statistical on birth and death, they should be registered in the corporation or municipality or panchayat board. Then the Registration of Foreigners Act 1939, the foreigners should be registered under this act. The Religious Endowment Act, that is maintenance of worship, is looked out by the Religious Endowment Act. And the Revenue Recovery Act 1890, arrears of land revenues will be collected. If not the arrears are not given properly, then the law will take its own course. Then the Special Marriage Act notice, that is irrespective of the religion and a thing, they can go for marriages, that is Special Marriage Act. suppose if an Indian origin marries in other countries, they may not be, or the Indian origins who is living now in foreign countries may come to India and marry. For them there is no the Hindu law and Christian law or Muslim law. That is called Special Marriage Act. A special act is there for looking after those marriages. Then Tamil Nadu Air Pollution and Pollution Control Board. This is this look after the prevention of pollution to the water bodies or to the air and other thing. And then Tamil Nadu Cinemas Act, Registration Act 1955. This gives license to the cinema halls and other thing. Whether it is on the norms are prescribed, whether public health is prescribed there, the fire hazardous are prevented, all these things will be seen. The Tamil Nadu City Police Act 1888, that is wagering and betting of horse. Once this is abolished, now it is abolished. Once it was prevailing. And the Tamil Nadu Clinical Establishment Act, this controls the private hospitals, that is what are the facilities available in private hospitals and what all the how they charge and other things will be looked after by this act. And Tamil Nadu, that is Motor Vehicle Rules 1940, this is about the vehicles rules. And the Tamil Nadu Gambling Act 1930, that is punishment for gambling. Tamil Nadu Protection of Interest of Depositors in Financial Establishment, that is Act 1997. This is economic wing, offences wing is there. If any financial institutions established doing harm to the depositors, then this matter will be taken by this act. The Tamil Nadu Restriction of Habitual Offenders Act, that is Criminals Procedure Code Section 110. The Tamil Nadu Right to that is the Tamil Nadu Transparency in Tenders Act 1998, that is transparency in public procurement and accepting tenders. Suppose if the for procurement of anything for public by the state government, say for example bed grinder or whatever everything, laptop and other thing, there should be the transparency should be maintained in floating tender and all. That is Act 1998. Then the Telegraph Act 1885, it is about licensing. And the Telegraphic Wires Unlawful Possession Act 1950, the Wireless Telegraph Act 1933, that is the quality of the wires will be seen by this act. And Trade and Merchandise Mark Act, this is trademark are protected by this act. If the trademark is infringed by anyone, or if the trademark is used by some other person who is not who didn't get the trademark, then they will be punished. Then Tamil Nadu Place of Public Resorts Act 1888, that is the for during holidays and I think they will be resorts are there in hill centers and sea resorts are there. There the during holidays the people will stay there, and what all the facilities available and how safety and other things are arranged in that resorts, that will be looked after by this the Tamil Nadu Places of Public Resorts Act 1888. The license should be obtained for running this resort. So about 90 special laws and local laws are there. With these things the offences are monitored and punishments are given wherever the offences are committed. So not only the IPC controls the offences, and these special laws and local laws enacted by the state government then and there or by the central government, that also come in handy wherever the offences are committed, and to the prevail public tranquility, these measures have been taken, and it is so wide in nature. And then with this we conclude the the avenues or what all the things are coming under the offences. With this, we conclude this topic, that is the crimes under IPC as well as special law and local laws.